Good day and you're welcome back to the channel. We are continuing our discourse on fungi and we're trying to know as much as we can about fungi. Now, as we earlier said, we said when you have these fungi, they are in two major forms. They have thalluses, which form mycelia, and then they can be in two major forms. And the two major forms are the unicellular thallus and the filamentous thallus. We've said this in our former video. And in the unicellular thallus, you have syntrichium, which is the organism that is the poster boy that we can see as an example, as a good example for our unicellular thallus. And then you have other organisms in the filamentous thallus. And in the filamentous thallus, like I said before, you have a lot of hyphae, coming together to make this, that's the internal structure of this organism, what it looks like. You have a lot of hyphae which lie together in different kind of arrangements. They can lie together as in parallel arrangements. They can also be interwoven in thread-like arrangement. And then you have what we call the mycelia. The mycelia, if it's singular, we call it mycelium. If it's plural, we call it mycelia. This is important to know. Now, it's also important to know that the hyphae varies in size, in shape, in color. We have different types of hyphae for different types of organisms, and this is important. Now, for the hyphae exists in it has a structure that is unique, and there are two major types of hyphae. When we look at the hyphae, we have what we call the septate hyphae and the non-septate hyphae. Now, the non-septate hyphae is a hyphae that is not divided in the middle. It doesn't have what we refer to as cross walls. And when it doesn't have cross walls, what happens is that all the nucleus, remember that the fungi is heavily nucleated, has a lot of nucleus in its structure. So all these nucleuses are present within the cytoplasm of the fungi without any division, any division within the head of the hyphae. And this kind of septa, or this kind of hyphae, we call it non-septate hyphae. Now, we can have a hyphae that is septate, and the septate hyphae is a hyphae that has cross walls. So it has divisions, a lot of divisions within the structure. And within these divisions, we have nucleated cells. You have nucleuses in all these divisions, and these nucleuses could be one, it could be two per division. And that is what you have in a septate hyphae. This is important to know. For when it comes to examples, for the non-septate hyphae, you have your oomycetes as an example, and you have your zygomycetes, your oomycetes, your zygomycetes. These are examples. For the septate hyphae, you have your ascomycotina, your basidiomycotina, your deuteromycotina. These are all examples of fungi that have septate structure. Now, even when we come to the septate structure, we found out that there are two types of the septate structure. You have what we call a primary septate, and you have what we call an adventitious septate. The primary septate, what happens in the primary septate is that this is a septate that is a result, or it is, a result of meiosis and mitosis. So as the fungi continues to develop, due to meiosis and mitosis, you now have the division of different sections of the hyphae, such that you now have cross walls, and within these cross walls, you have nuclei existing in all these cross walls. These are examples of what we refer to as the primary septae. Now, we also have what we call the adventitious septae. Now, the adventitious septae is not being caused by mitosis or meiosis. No, rather it is the septae that is as a result of change in concentration of the cytoplasm. When you have a change in concentration of the cytoplasm of the fungi, it can lead to the formation of cross walls, and these cross walls will now make this organism become septate in nature. Thank you for listening to this lecture. We've discussed the different types of hyphae and what brings about these differences and examples of the kind of fungi that carry this kind of hyphae. Thank you for listening, and do have a wonderful day.